wreck?
It sounded like you had a complaint a minute ago, so that's your complaint for today. If we hit the trail, any more complaints, you're carrying something out of my pack.
Did you hear a complaint? I didn't hear a complaint.
Something about misery?
I was just making an observation.
That was misery.
It's observation. We have a rule. You're allowed one complaint per 24-hour shift. In that 24 hours, if you surpass the one complaint mark, the other gets to choose something out of their pack and put it in your pack. And I have been known to drop my one complaint at 12:01 a.m.
We've got a long way to go and a short time to get there. I'm eastbound, just watch a bandit run. Now keep your foot hard on the pedal, son, never mind them brakes. Let it all hang out, cause we got a run to make. Well, the boys are thirsty and there's beer and things.
So, Mark, did you sign a consent release?
No, I did not, so you can't put me on any pictures.
Alright, we're in the second stage of our trip. This is the first time we've been fortunate enough to have 3 vehicles on a travel. Logistics is becoming more and more difficult as we travel further north. This time we have friends Mark and Brad and Kirk, which we're meeting at our halfway point. And he's got his vehicle, and we're going to go to the begin point with one vehicle, stop at the halfway point, and move along. So we just stopped in Atkins, Virginia, dropped off our truck at the Red Barn Restaurant.
And it's raining. I love the rain.
It's raining.
Hopefully it's snowing at elevation. That would even be better.
And it's 54 degrees. Yeah, snow would be awesome. We got a snowball fight.
Old Smokey's got them ears on. He's out on your trail, and he ain't gonna rest till you're in jail. So you got to dodge him, you got to duck him. Gotta keep that diesel trucking. Put that hammer down and give it hell. Eastbound and down, load it up and truck it. We gonna do what they say can't be done. We've got a long way to go and a short time to get there. I'm eastbound, just watch a bandit run.
Sunshine on my shoulders makes me happy. Hey, here's your John Denver moment for this hiking trip. I have no idea anything about John Denver except my mom had the album. I don't know which one it was, but I vividly remember it never being played, but just being there. That and Hair. Is that the name of that musical? Hair. Thank you, Lord, for not letting me born during the 60s or 50s. I missed all that. Hey everybody, it's Beas checking in. First trail report from a hostel. In 5 years, this is the first time we made a hostel stop at the Methodist Church in Damascus, Virginia. I hadn't got a good chance to introduce my friend.
Hi.
Soggy Britches.
It's not Soggy Britches.
What about Mark?
Hey man, we're having a lot of fun. Having a lot of fun.
We now have a trail name for you. What is it?
Yes. Preacher hair.
Preacher Hair. And a lady we didn't even know gave him that. She says, "You got hair like a preacher." It's amazing. I gotta get the customary eye shot.
Stay over there.
Just a heads up right now, there are looking looking for a hiker that is missing 50-year-old male with a dog. Has flu-like symptoms, and the rescue squads are out looking for him. Wow. We started off the day in Madison Gap trying to recover from yesterday. Wind's blowing pretty good, but it's about 48 degrees. It started snowing again. I'm not sure what mountain we're on, I'll tell you later. Man, it's changed again. Sun went behind the clouds. It's just brutal. Woo! Man, I don't know what to think. I'm not sure. I'm unfaithful. I believe God's trying to tell me something. Woo! Maybe it's Jim. I blame it on him. Well, let's take a look at the view that I have other than wind. It sure is pretty.
It's above freezing and the sun's coming out.
Hey everybody, it's Diesel and Beas checking in on a Monday night. 6th night on the trail? 5th night?
6th night.
6th night. Well, how about the 6th night away from home? Maybe not necessarily the 6th night on the trail. We've hadn't done a whole lot of trail reports. Weather just really hadn't permitted very well. But we're going to try to recap the last 48 hours or so. We left Damascus and went to the Lost Mountain Shelter.
Lost Mountain.
And had a real good night there with Stats, one of the AT through hikers, a couple other people. And then we went into the Grayson Highland State Park. And man, things really changed there. We got there next morning, it was raining, packed up, put on some rain gear, and man, it was starting to really getting cold. We got into the state park in Grayson Highland, and we were on our way to the Thomas Knob Shelter. Anybody that's ever been there probably knows what I'm talking about. It's on top of Mount Rogers. And I know there's a bunch of hammock-born people from that area and continue to go there. And I have no idea why you would go back. Man. We got up there, I did about 3 o'clock, got something to eat, warmed up, but in my haste I just chose not to set up my hammock. Winds are blowing 40 and 50 and 60 miles an hour on top of there, and I just said, man, it's got to be something better. And I set my stuff up inside the shelter on the 2nd floor. Diesel came in later in the afternoon, 5-ish, set up his tent. And myself had probably the coldest night I've ever spent on any type of hiking trip or anywhere else, I guess, as far as that goes. Pretty rough time. What about you?
When we first got there, the temperature was about 28 degrees and had just started sputtering a little bit of snow. 2 big mistakes. One of our buddies said, ground's too warm, the snow's not going to stick. And B said, 28 degrees, that's about as cold as it's going to get. We got up the next morning. Well, he woke up in the middle of the night on the shelter, and snow was blowing in the shelter. I was in my tent probably 100 yards from the shelter, and maybe had 2 inches of snow around. My thermometer on my pack said 16 degrees. So we loaded up in a driving snowstorm and set out. It was supposed to be about a 2-mile hike, and got turned around on a trail. We called the Highland State Park, and she gave us some very wrong directions. We ended up coming back to the AT and back around, and a couple of balls we passed, like he said, it was driving snow, 40, 50 mile an hour winds, 16 degrees. He looked up, he said the wind chill was below 0 for that, so it was the coldest night we've had out here.
That was, we had to take our 3 friends that got off the trail, Preacher Harris, Soggy Pants, or Soggy Shoes,
Fire Guide.
and Fire Guide. They were parked at Massey Gap, so we dropped them off, and they had our resupply box. And I just, quite frankly, just told Jim, I can't take another night of this. My sleeping bag, my quilt was wet from the snow inside the shelter. My clothes were wet from sweat. I just had about all I could take, and so I played poor pitiful me and snookered him into going to town. Kind of changed our plans for our shuttles, but
But the good thing about it is we're back on the trail. We had a short day today, maybe 10 miles, and both of us are having Babelfish 5's beefy bean burrito recipe tonight. We've also cooked up a few of his recipes, the lasagna and the Cuban black beans and rice. So that's what's kept us fed out here on the trail.
we also had I don't remember what he called it, the white beans and sausage and taters. I would call it a beanie weenie soup on steroids. Some kind of chicken thing. Chicken and rice.
Chicken and rice.
We had the chicken and rice. So we've had 5 of his meals. And then when we eat those, we'll have 10 meals, and 5 of his meals we'll eat twice over a 10-day hike.
And we have one of his desserts over there now, the worm dirt with the fudgy pudding and the cookies.
We're roughing it. The only thing we got going right now is we can't get cell service, and my little girl, Sarah, has been bit by a coon at home, and I can't get any reports on what's going on. And, that was Sunday, and I talked to my wife last night. She said everything's good. They was going to the doctor today, but I'm still really concerned about what all could come from a coon. Not good. That's it. That's the last 48 hours in a few minutes. A couple of goobers. It's time to eat beef and bean burritos. Later. 4 rains and 2 snows ago, our forefathers set forth on this continent a nation to walk across on the Appalachian Trail. I've never seen nothing like it. It is our 4th day to hike in the rain. It has snowed on us twice. We've got 10 miles to the partnership shelter where we can order pizza from the camp. Got one more day after that. Man, this is incredible. What you got to say?
I love the rain. It makes everything clean and fresh. It's wonderful out here, but it is warm. It's about 52 degrees. It's not snowing on us. The wind's not blowing. It couldn't be better.
Say, pepe, domine,
Bola, bola, bola.
sacrium.
Your mama plays domino.